Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is COOKMAS episode 3. Today, y'all, I'm going to be making some sweet and spicy turkey meatballs. Yes, y'all, it's a holiday time and everybody's coming around. So this is one of the most perfect appetizers that I've made before. Everybody loves it and it's just really a crowd pleaser. So without further ado, just going to go right into it. So I have about 1.5 pounds of ground turkey. And then I'm literally just going in with all of these seasonings you see on the screen. I don't got to read through everything, but you want to make sure that you definitely have your breadcrumbs as well as your eggs, because those are going to be your binders, and it's going to make sure that these turkey meatballs don't fall all apart and actually, stay in a relatively meatball-ish shape. Y'all understand. Also, make sure you go with your veggies because that adds lots of moisture and stuff into the meatballs. And it's turkeys, ground turkey. And so, it has a tendency to kind of dry out a little bit. So going with that, those diced up veggies as well as some whole milk or some half and half, just to keep everything nice and moist and not dry it out at all, y'all. So after we mix everything all up together, nice and combined, you just want to roll them into little balls. A little pro tip, if you put the mixture in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes, that'll make this step even better, because as you see right there, my hands are just very... That meat mixture was all over my hands. And so, y'all, if you want to kind of avoid that, if you also want to make sure the meatballs are just, nice, perfect spheres or little balls, definitely consider throwing it in the fridge for a little while just to cool it down and just to make sure that the meat mixture is a little bit more firm. So after all of that, I'm going to place it in a 350-degree oven, uncovered for about 15 minutes. So in the meantime, we're going to start on our sweet and spicy glaze. So I'm going in with some ketchup, about a cup of that ketchup altogether. Then I'm going to sweeten it up with some brown sugar, about 1/2 cup of that brown sugar. You can definitely reduce the brown sugar if you don't want it that sweet, because if you see on the screen, we're also going to be adding in some orange juice a little bit later. So definitely scale it back if you are watching your sugar. So after that, I'm just going in with all of the ingredients you see on the screen. Definitely do not forget that Worcestershire sauce, because it really, really gives you that smokiness and that depth of flavor that I love in this sweet glaze. Also, I went in with some hot pepper flakes or hot chili flakes. That's also optional if you don't want it spicy. Do what you want to do, y'all. So after about 15 minutes, I'm taking the meatballs out. Just going to flip them over just to make sure that they're evenly cooked on both sides, and also just to allow that other side to kind of brown up a little bit. You don't really want to char it or anything like that. You just want to kind of lightly toast it. So I'm going to place them back in the oven for about 10 minutes or so, uncover it again. Then after that, I'm going to transfer everything into one baking dish. And if you had a bigger baking dish, I didn't. If you had a bigger baking dish, this step right here is definitely not necessary for you. So after I have everything in one baking dish, I'm just going to pour over that sweet glaze all over the top of the meatballs. And I also went in with about 1 cup of water, probably all in all. And I mixed that in with it as well. And that's just so the liquid or the sweet glaze will kind of rise to, not necessarily the top of the meatballs, but you want to kind of submerge the meatballs in that glaze, so the glaze can really seep into the meatballs and really just impart its flavor all throughout. And as I was saying, when you pour this, or when you have the glaze kind of almost covering the meatballs, you really ensure that the meatballs won't dry out when you're cooking them in the oven, and it really helps to let that glaze really just seep all throughout the meatballs. So you want to just press them gently just to make sure that liquid is covering, it's covering the meatballs as much as you want them to. So after that, I'm just going to cover it up with some foil that also promotes, non-dryness. And you just want to place them in the oven for about 20-ish minutes or so, y'all. Cover it with the foil, and then take the foil off and let it cook for an additional 5 minutes or so in the oven. And this is what you have, y'all. That last 5 minutes uncovered is really just so that glaze can start to thicken up a little bit. And if you want it more thick, you can definitely remove the foil a little bit earlier, or just let it cook longer uncovered. And so this is basically what you have, y'all. These meatballs right here are done, and they are ready to be served at your next function. All right, y'all. So of course, y'all already know I gotta cut into these things, and I gotta show y'all what these things are looking like on the inside. All right, so let me get it focused. Okay, there we go, y'all. These are those meatballs, nice and tender, nice and juicy. They are just cutting so easily, and y'all, this is exactly what I wanted. So as you see, the meatballs are a little bit on the bigger side, and again, that's just because the mixture was a little bit too warm for me when I was trying to put them all together and roll them all together into little balls. So that's why I said to make sure you kind of chill the mixture a little bit. But it honestly is fine, and it tasted perfectly fine. And y'all, I'm gonna stop talking. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed COOKMAS episode 3. Stay tuned for the next episode. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Later.